Hello, welcome back everybody, welcome to another live stream coming at you from the V1 HQ here in North Texas. It's going to be a steamy one today. It's already 95 degrees. It was actually 95 degrees I think by 10 a.m. But it's going to be pretty much the same down where we are here, coming at you live from Guatemala City, headed down to Costa Rica. Should be a fun little flight. Now, we are in a jet that I've received a lot of hate for flying. I see a lot of requests for flying this aircraft. Every time I stream this aircraft, there is no doubt a drama around why I fly it, why should I fly it, why shouldn't I fly it. And at the end of the day, I just don't really care, man. I think it flies good. This is my first aircraft I was type rated on for the for my ATP certificate. I earned my ATP type right on an Embraer 170, 190. So it had a special place in my heart. So there is that. I'll give you that much. You know, I do have an attraction to this aircraft that others may not. But I got to tell you, I enjoy flying this bird around. It's a lot of fun. It hand flies wonderfully. And there's actually, I think, another update coming out. I want to say it's supposed to be coming out today, or maybe it already came out. I don't know. I updated my, I updated it. I was one update out of sync, so I just updated it, but I don't know if that was the newest update or not. And yeah, we're going to take it for a spin. We're going to take it for a spin. This is the Embraer E-190 variant in an Avianca livery. We're getting some catering right now. Absolutely juicy. Little 737 pulled up to the gate while I've been sitting here too. So a little American Airlines 738, probably flying VAAL. Probably upset that he can't fly an E-jet in VAAL yet, but we'll leave that neither here nor there. I won't get into that dramas. But yeah, controversial airplane, no doubt, especially within my circles. You guys are familiar that I like VAL, PVA, V-Spirit, and this airplane is on the ban list, so it's a little taboo, I guess, flying it. But let's have some fun with it today. Let's have some fun. I want to see how it hand flies with the latest update. I am also rocking a new force feedback profile. I updated an old one to this airplane that I had to do a workaround to get it to work with the autopilot properly. Now, after this latest update that I did, like I said, I don't know if it was a new update or not, but I updated this bird before I launched the sim, and I've been tweaking a new profile that seems to be even better, and it seems to be following the autopilot. So my yoke is actually following the autopilot like it should. Hopefully we don't have any issues. If we do, I might just have to switch profiles and go back. But either way, that'll be fun to test out, because if it does follow this airplane like the real bird, that'd be pretty neat, pretty neat. Clouds look juicy, John. They sure do, don't they? We are real time, real weather today. Didn't back the clock up, nothing. This is a real time 12 noon. Got some gusty winds. If you guys missed the stream yesterday, just go back and watch the landing. We landed Guatemala City, gust to like 2.8, like steady state of 20 knots with gusts above that, and it was a spicy approach on that Fokker F-28 coming in here, but it was a ton of fun. I mean, it was fun, and I actually just flew an approach before the stream went live on this airplane just to test my new profile, because I was tweaking some turbulence settings, because you do feel turbulence in the yoke sometimes, depending on how strong it is. You know, you get rocked up, that yoke is going to move a little bit on the Embraer, on the E-jet. Not crazy, but you do feel it. So you feel the airplane reacting and getting beat around. So I'm trying to simulate that here with this profile. If this works out, I will I'll update, or I'll just send a new profile to the Brunner Cloud with the E-190. But anyway, let's do this thing, shall we, I'm sorry, I saw Dr. D-Champ and Mr. Martini, and I put it together. D-Champ, what's up, Mr. Martini? Good to see you. Zippy's in the house, not with you, still looking for the spare pants. Can I join as passenger? Zippy, yeah, man, hop on board, man. We're about to start boarding here in the lovely Guatemala City, man. Bill's Mafia, good to see you, dude. Caleb W, can't be worse than the MD-11. I'll tell you what, man, the MD-11 is... That's a love-hate relationship on that bird. I love it. It needs some sounds, man. I tried flying when I got home, I tried doing a flight by myself on my home PC with the MD-11. I wanted to just do a super long haul, let it run overnight, but after takeoff, I kind of just alt F4'd because I wasn't too impressed. I like this. The more I fly it, the more I notice the sounds are not giving me the oomph that I need, and partially that's due to me watching a ton of MD-11 videos on YouTube now, because I'm obsessed with MD-11s and L1011s and all that stuff. So I've been hearing what the real airplane sounds like, and it needs some tweaking. Checking every day. I check every day for FT Sim update on that MD-11. I'm hoping it drops. All right. Let's go ahead and fire this thing up. We got one leg today. It's a shorter flight, but it should be a pretty fun one, especially going down to San Jose, Costa Rica. It's always a beautiful approach down there. How cool would it be if we could interchange yokes like we can with sticks? Caleb, I know. I would love that. The flight sim guys from the FLITE sim, they have that option, that CLS 60 yoke. Now, I looked at it, I'm like, man, that is a massive yoke, though, to put on your desk. So I don't know. I might try to pick up one of those just to see how it is, but because I'm all about the force feedback game, right? I'm all about it right now. So it's expensive it's an expensive part of this hobby that you got to, cost analysis on if it's worth it or not. And considering I already have the Brunner, do I need another one? No, I definitely don't need one, but interchangeable yokes with a 7.3 style yoke would be fantastic. But then you got this massive block on your desk. I don't know, man. I don't know. Are you going to fly wide body someday, real life? Miles Johnson? No, it depends, man. Not right now, dude. I don't want that schedule. I like skipping hotels. I don't like spending nights in hotels if I can help it. So right now I'm content with where I am at. Canadian, good to see you, man. How you doing, my friend? I need some props. I saw you flying the King Air the other day, huh? Getting the King Air yesterday, getting fired up. All right, here we go. Let's get the batteries online. Let's arm the emergency exit lights. Let's put on the external power. We'll come over here. We'll go GPU, please. Thank you. GPU's connected. Avail, and should fire up here in a second. There she goes. We ever going to see another 777 stream? Bill's Mafia, man. Dude, everyone's flying the triple, dude. I need a break from the triple. It's a great airplane. I love it. I'm just letting it, if I was, it's cool. It's a 7.3 on steroids. We're going to fly it more. Don't worry, though. We're going to do a New Zealand flight with that triple. I want to take that triple down into New Zealand, fly into, do an approach down there. I think that'd be a heck of a lot of fun. Yeah, it'll come, though. We're going to do 777. Did I update what, Team Vodka, the CLS software? No, I haven't. But try that profile I sent you. I sent you a profile in DM, man. Make sure see if you like it. We'll get the no smoking sign on. We'll get the nav light on. We'll get the logo lights on. We'll put electric pump 2 on. That's on auto, and electric pump 3 will stay off. I forget my flows. It's been a while. I think that's what we'll do. We'll let that do its thing. We'll put you systems over here. We'll put you on flight control. We'll put this on the map page, and then we'll do some work here getting our flight plan loaded up. What do we got here? JJ Stevens, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Amazing. Got the Pro Desk E-Jet throttles for the Bravo. They are a must. Amazing. Hey, JJ, I saw you posting pictures. I think it was you posting pictures in the FSS Discord with that. They look great, man. JJ, I will say I did not. I'm not going to get the E-Jet throttles. Because I'm using my Throttletek throttles. They got the same style detent and everything. It works perfectly. But I am getting the MD-11 throttles from ProDesk Sim. So, yeah. Thanks for the $5 super chat, JJ Stevens. They look sharp on that Bravo, man. They look good. I haven't seen anyone on YouTube fly the E-Jet series in over a month. Ethan Jolly, I know, man. It's you either love it or you hate it. And we'll talk about it in cruise. But I don't understand it doesn't have, people are mad that they don't have their VNAV out yet, but yet we're so quick to forget that, Fenix missed a target for a 319, 321 last fall, and no one's talking about that. Now, granted, Fenix set a really high bar, and they actually, they have a fantastic product, so you've got that to go off of, but, at the end of the day, I think, if it's not ready, it's not ready, so yeah, we can be upset about it, but is it coming? I have every reason to believe that it's coming. Now that we're getting close to 24, is that going to be an issue? Perhaps. But I have no doubt that at some point this airplane will get VNAV. And to me, this airplane is still so much fun to fly. The hand-flying characteristics alone are better than a dozen payware airplanes that nobody gripes about. CRJ, it's better. CRJ's got a default flight model. MD-11 is questionable in some aspects. What else is out there that people like to fly around a lot? ATR flight model it's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay, and I enjoy flying the ATR. This flight model is great on the E-190. The flight model is fantastic. Can fly in this bird, wonderful. So The X-Plane version has VNAV. AJ, I know it has VNAV. AJ, after the stream, I'm going to update X-Plane 12, man. I also forgot, chat, that I am going in, not forget, but next month, I'm going in the simulator. So next week, we're probably going to have to reel in all these fun streams, and we're going to lock it down with A320 recurrent training prep streams. We'll be in X-Plane. We'll be flying the Tolas for a little bit. We'll probably do some of the Fenix as well, but we're going to have to lock it down and get serious for check ride prep streams coming up probably next week. So anyway, would you ever switch to Boeing? Rastik, if it gives me the quality of life that I want, I have no problem, man. I could care less. I mean, I say that I could care less, but like if the Airbus option was taken away from me, but I could still have the same quality of life flying the Boeing, then yes. Am I willingly just going to switch to a 737 to do the same thing? No. No way, man. No way. All right, let's go to flight details here. I've already loaded up our flight plan. You mean we have to be professional? Allegedly, Mr. Martini. All right, so here we are, La Aurora to Juan Santa Maria, 1710Z, which is right now beautiful. There is our flight plan. Now, we don't have a SID in here, but we're going to have to deal with that here in a minute. So with that set up, I'm going to go to the departure procedure, and now we're going to come down here, and let's program the box. Let's go to our flight plan. Let's go route page, MGGT to La Aurora, which is MROC. So we'll go MROC. And then I will do flight plan request. I'm going to send that off. Let's see if we can find our flight plan. Flight ID. Ooh, I have the wrong flight ID. We are, let's change that. What are we? We're AVA. So clear that out. We're Avianca AVA 357. We'll put that in the flight ID. Now we should be able to send that off and pull the flight plan out. Tray table, quality of life. That's right, Team Vodka. I got you, Team Vodka. Don't worry. All right, download. There it is. That's us. Apply active. Flight plan downloading from SimBrief. We'll load it in here. Wonderful. I don't like how my FMS is flickering over there. My FMS needle. All right, beautiful. That's us. MGGT, MROC, no alternate. AVA 357. Let's go to the departures, runways. It's blowing out of the north hard like it was yesterday. So we're going to go off 20. Now, what's interesting here is we don't have a filed SID. So I'm going to look here at our charts page real quick. This is an RNAV departures off runway 02. And this one is titled, what is this one? This is the Guatemala City RNAV SID, but it doesn't Asuco, so we got to pick which way we're going. We're going southeast. Let me check real quick here. Our first fix is Aurora coming back, and then G346 to Capan, but I don't know if that's not what we filed. So let's go back to SIDS. RNAV departures, Jaren. Now the Capan 2 Alpha, that's our fix that we're going to. I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the Capan 2 Alpha to Capan transition. So that's what we want to put in the box. That's going to be off 02. So let's find that one. Kappa 2 Alpha. There's 3 pages of them. Let's make sure we got the right one. Yeah, Kappa 2 Alpha. Kappa 2 Alpha, runway 02, SID. Apply that. Now let's look at the flight plan here real quick. Out to Capan. Beautiful. That links up wonderfully. All right, now let's go back to our... actually, let's go back to flight plan. All the way down here. Okay, route, arrival index. Going into MROC. We're going to plan for the... Does it have the RNAV 25 in the box? RNAV Echo Victor Mike. Let's see. I think RNAV Victor is the visual. Real quick, let's see if we can load up the MROC visual. Now I've showed numerous times how you do the Cyrus visual coming into MROC. Now I believe there's a published RNAV visual. RNAV visual 25. This is the one. Now I hope this is going to properly load. Let's see. RNAV visual 25 or RNAV Victor, which is visual procedure turn VPT. Let's see if we can load that. RNAV Victor colon transition. Beautiful. That will link up wonderfully. And our arrival is the Bera 3 Lima off of Lib. So we're going to go Bera 4. Actually, it's the Bera 4 Lima now. No, Bear 3 Lima. Beautiful. Apply that. Now, if we look at our flight plan here, let's go into plan mode. And we'll zoom out the range. Actually, that looks fine like that. Let's look through here. I'm going to go to route. Next page. Oh, no, I forget. Oh, I forget how to do this. I forget how to step through my flight plan. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Good morning from Japan. Name is Katsu. Katsu, thanks for the $5 super chat. Tomorrow's my first day of line training. Very cool. Should I sleep? Absolutely. Will I sleep to be determined? Haha, yeah, that's exciting, man. Very, very cool. Congratulations on first day of line training tomorrow. And thank you for the support of the channel with a $5 super chat. That's very, very kind. Thank you. Turn the knob. I know, but I thought I could turn it on this thing. I guess you can't turn it on there anymore. No, that's not right. That's just range, Team Vodka. I swear I could step through it before. It's got to be in route. Huh. I swear I could No, I can't. It should give me like step or legs. It's not giving me that. It's not giving me step or legs to scroll through there. I've tried the inner part of the knob. That's just range, and then the inner part is not doing anything. It should. You can hear it clicking. It's just not working. Nope, not working, Team Vodka. Left button is MFD. This is PFD in the middle, right? And then this is ICAS, yeah. So this is the proper button. It's just not working. Put it on waypoint centered. Oh, maybe that's why. Yeah, there we go. I think, maybe. Yes, now it's working. I had it on aircraft centered. So you got to take it off aircraft centered. All right, there's our flight plan. RNAV departure going out. Coming in for the visual, RNAV visual back in. All right. So it's all there. It's just, you have to put it on waypoint centered, but I guess I want to go back to, I want to go plan. We'll leave that map center here on this one here. Beautiful. Map, I'll put vertical profile up just because it looks better, even though we don't have it. Actually put, let's put terrain on, and let's put on vertical profile, so it looks like we have vertical profile. Wonderful. Magic barrel ref key is set. Initial altitude. We don't have an ATC, so let's set a cruise altitude, flight level 290. 292. Sometimes it does that with the hardware. I don't understand why it does it with my Bravo. Altitude select 290 is set. We're going to be using FMS speeds. Let's finish the rest of the perf and it. So we'll come down here. We're going to do 300 and 0. Actually, I think that was a 170. Next page, cruise altitude. Let's let the first officer go to work here. So this is us. This is our flight plan. We're going to blast off runway 02. Condition is dry. We're going to do flaps 1 for sure. We'll sync the live weather. We'll calculate our V speeds and weight. And we're going to do real time. Wonderful. So that's going to start loading our box, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because he's going to start loading it up from manifest and send to McDo. So now with that being sent to the McDo is going to start, first officer is going to start loading us up. We'll get the APU fired up, and then we will send the passengers down. Request a boarding, please. And, oh, I didn't want to do GSX. Sorry, I want to start you. APU start. Check this out. We actually have APU start sounds. Scandy. Scandy, thanks for the 34 months of support, man. I appreciate you. Hello. Thank you for all the videos and hope for another 3 to 4 months of awesome flights. Go Team Whiskey. Hey, Scandy, I appreciate the support, man. Thank you for the 34 months again of support. Very kind of you. And I hope you enjoy the next 34 months, my friend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Nope, crew's already on board. And we'll start the boarding process. Ooh, that American just pushed back. Check that out. Boarding process started. 5x5 on the APU. Yeah, sounds on the APU, 10 out of 10. Way better than the MD-11 non-existence APU sounds. VNAV is still not implemented. That is correct. They are waiting for a VNAV release, and that's why everyone is up in arms about this airplane, because it doesn't have VNAV. Half y'all don't even know how to fly with VNAV. All right, open forward passenger door. Do I have to do that? I forget. This airplane probably needs a GSX profile, which I did not install. I never install profiles. I wonder if we'll actually see passengers come down the jet bridge on this one. Let's see. We'll take a look here in a minute. I want to see. Oh, there goes that 7.3. In the sim, we listen to APU start. In real life, when I hear APU start, I immediately walk the other way. Yes. Walk the other way or plug your ears, man. Walk the other way and plug your ears. Beautiful wing model, beautiful textures, beautiful windows. Look at that view right there. That is that is a real, look at this wing view and then go back to our MD-11 wing view. See what I mean? Like this, and this was even, I believe this model was from X-Crafts. They purchased it, right? They're friends. And that was X-Plane. And whether they tweaked it or not, I mean, this looks like a native Microsoft wing model. This looks great. Compare that with our very flat looking MD-11 wing model, and now you understand what I'm getting at when I nitpick that MD-11 a little bit. We are not using FT-Sim spike flies. This is a fresh install of the 190. I did an update, so everything you're seeing here is default. No mods on the aircraft today. But you can hear that hydraulic pump running. Isn't that nice? Yeah, John, I agree with you, though. The wing textures are awesome. Alright, hide pump not auto, yaw damper off, that's normal. Is the FO done loading the box? The FO is done loading the box. So I'm going to continue on here. Let's go next page. Takeoff data set. We're doing TO1, ECS on, anti-ice off. Flex off. We're doing a Toga takeoff. TO1 at 17K of thrust. FMS takeoff speeds are set. Our CG looks like it's actively moving here. There's our V speeds, and I will set our trim here momentarily. So 25, 32, 78, that looks good. Let's verify with our manifest speeds here. We have MGGT 30. Ooh, they're a little bit different. 30, 43, 85. Why are they different? Let's see what we got run here. Max takeoff 30, 43. Oh, 26, 30, and 43. Those are a bit more conservative. I might go with those. That's a flaps one with a takeoff CG of 14.1. Let's make sure this is TO1. ECS on, anti-ice off. Oh, this might have been with a flex of 23. Use the EFB numbers. See how they're always different. We're going to use the EFB numbers. So 26, 30, and 43. These are going to be more conservative. 143. Takeoff pitch 11 degrees upon rotation. Our trim for takeoff will be 2.2 units. 2.2 units is set. That all looks good. We can actually arm the nav, and we'll get the FMS speeds over. Oops, I think the coffee's here. FMS speed selects a standby. I got a phone call. All right, good news, chat. Coffee delivery is en route. Coffee delivery is en route. I tried to get some Boboa tea, but they're closed on Monday. Look, we got some 146 traffic. We got a Boletus. That 7.3 takeoff yet? Where's that 7.3 at? I think he probably already took off. Yeah, I don't see him anymore. But, I mean, look at that. That model looks great, does it not? Yes. I don't know who's in the 146, but more power to him. Trim is 2.2, not 14.7. Yeah, I set 2.2. I set 2.2. Do you think this plane deserves the hate it gets at the moment? No, good man. I don't believe it deserves the hate it gets at all. And I always think, like, here's the thing. And I look, I watch Captain Canada. I like his stuff. I watch him like whenever I'm at home. I watch XP72. I watch Captain Canada. I watch Flight Deck to Sim. Those are the majority of the guys that I watch if I have time. And I don't watch a lot of YouTube flight simming. We just have, like, I respect his opinion, and I just have a slightly different opinion. Now, I do understand when people are like, well, it's shady that they're releasing a bunch of airplanes and they haven't finished the one airplane they put out. I totally get that. I don't have any defense for that. I totally agree. And like I said, you can even fault me for being a little bit more connected to this airplane because I flew this airplane in real life. So I want to love this airplane. Shaq Oatmeal said the other day, you know, if you enjoy an airplane for what it is, you can look past some of its shortcomings. And I have no doubt that that's a little bit of what I have going on here with this bird. But even with that said, no VNAV, I mean, to me that seems like an issue that is expected in an early access module. I mean, it fully says when you buy this airplane, it says you're buying an early access product. So if the VNAV never shows up, then they fooled me and they won't fool me again in the future, right? But who am I to say just because I bought an early access airplanes that I want the VNAV now, or you missed your date? I mean, look at Fenix. Look at all the devs that missed release dates for updates for different things. So, I mean, at this moment in time, I have no reason to think that VNAV won't show up. I can fly with an Xbox controller, so that's a win in my book. Exactly. Yeah. And there's other things that this airplane does so well. Like, number one, the model. We already talked about the model, the texturing, the sounds it does really well. And one of the most important things, in my opinion, is the flight model. Hand flying the E-190 feels great. It flies so nice. It flies very reminiscent of what I remember on the E-190 flying like. So I thoroughly enjoy it. I really, really do. Now, does it have some bugs still, some quirks? Absolutely. You're going to see some little quirks here and there. You might see some bugs here and there. And that's just something that you got to be willing to accept when you buy into an early access aircraft. Delay Simulator 2020, 49 Whiskey, I hear you. And I think I don't know, but I feel like with, you know, the sim gets updated every, I don't know how often, right? But it gets updated pretty frequently, and that has to break things. That has to interrupt development of stuff that developers are working on for a current version of the sim. Then Microsoft drops an update, and now something else is broken. And you can see, I'm not making excuses. I've been called I was actually called a flaw defender or something. I don't know, some term in one of the discords, because I was actually defending that I actually liked the E-Jet, and someone's like, yeah, well, you're an apologist for flawed airplanes, or flawed apologist. I don't know what it was called. I'm like, dude. Anyway, so I'm not making excuses, but I can understand how that could happen. And then now with 24 being so close to release within the next couple of months, I can see devs kind of hanging tight and be like, maybe we should just really focus on making sure everything is compatible for 24 when it does drop, and then we can release new content in 24. But, I mean, who knows? I could be talking out my butt. I'm just speculating here. Throttletek, good to see you, man. I don't have a problem with the developer developing multiple products in parallel with two independent teams, and that is what this is. Yes, Throttletek, and that's what I understand too. It's you have independent teams under one umbrella working on different projects. So, you know, if you have a team, you have a company, and you develop an airplane, and let's just say the artist team is done. So are you just going to let them sit idle until let's say the FMS programming team is done, or are you going to move them onto a new project because their work is done? You know, that would make the allocation of sources be a pretty good idea if you ask me. I mean, what I disagree the most with some streamers is that they heavily criticize some airplanes based on flight model. They've never flown an aircraft in real life, so what do they know about it? Randy, I hear you, man, but that's just the name of the game, dude. That's just flight sim in a nutshell, my man. Flight sim in a nutshell. All right, we're all boarded up. We're ready to go. So I'm going to set up my box the way I like to set it up. I'm actually going to put you on the flight plan page. I'm going to leave you on the V-Speed page. We've got LNAV set 290 is blue. Let's go ahead and go here, and let's go Fasten seatbelt sign is on. Sterile light will come on. We'll throw the beacon light on as well. We can disconnect from the GPU. We'll come back over here. We'll pull the GPU off the ground charts. Boom. Go away. I think I click it to make it go away. There you go. Yep, GPU is dead to me. We'll pull the wheel chocks, and we'll actually just put this back on the manifest. And let's call for push and start. Armchair pilots have standards too. Hey, look, everyone is entitled. I've said this multiple times, y'all. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one, and they all stink. Okay? All I ask for is that you respect everyone else's opinions. Like, that's how boring would life be if we all just agreed on every single thing? That'd be so boring. So you got to have differences of opinions. Just be respectful and mindful of someone else's. And that's how I feel about like just yesterday I was watching I know I keep mentioning Captain Canada, but I was watching his 777 stream yesterday. Before I was setting up mine, I was just seeing how the 777 was doing. I was trying to hear the FT sim sounds, and and he has his opinions on the E-jets, and I totally respect him. I got nothing to counterpoint. I was like, all right, touche, But then where more drama comes in is you might have saw the thumbnails, like Phantom 320 and Cat 5 in our Discord. Good dudes. They loathe this airplane. And I don't understand why. I just think the pseudo drama is pretty comical. I hope Phantom's not watching. Different strokes for different folks. It's touche, not touche. If the Bluebird 75 drops when I'm out on vacation, I'm gonna throw hands. Hey man, I hear you. All right, let's set up. Well, we never set up our radios. Let's go radio 22.8. Oh, my radio panel is coming today, y'all. It didn't get delivered, obviously, before the stream. We need to go nose, left, tail, right. Resparking brakes. Brakes release, clear to push. Guatemala traffic, Avianca 357 pushing back off gate 9. We'll be taxiing 02. Guatemala traffic. I don't know who that is. All right, look at that. I don't mind opinions. It's when people are so confident they are right and they have no room in their heads for anything else. I hear you, Andy B. I hear you, man. I'll just let the stream do the talking. You guys let me know what you think. I mean, right now, this is 10 times better looking than the MD-11 as far as textures and sounds and performance, really. I don't know. Have any of you experienced not a memory leak, but a loss of performance over time in the MD-11? I'm talking like 4+ hours in a flight. I don't know. That's why I wanted to do a long haul on my other PC just to see, because when we flew that long haul on that MD-11, man, after coming into LA, like my whole PC was dead. It is dead. I've never had that before. So, and I kind of noticed after doing a 3-hour flight, it seemed like things were running a little heavy. So I'm gonna do another long haul on my home PC on the MD-11 to see if maybe there's something to that. All long hauls, loss of performance, Gary? Okay. That was 100% a memory leak. Yeah, I think so, Gustavo. I mean, because think about it. We flew the 748 for 15 hours. And there was no issue when we got into LA. So, you got that to think about. Let me juice up some of the panels here. No, I don't want that. Where's the, not the flood storm, MFD, ICAS. No, where's the light for this thing? It's up here, isn't it? Yeah, main panel. Pedestal. Get a little juice lights there. Now, we do have a HUD, but I'm not a huge fan of HUDs, and I'll probably just crash if I try to fly the HUD, so we're going to keep the HUD off. All right, that's all looking good, though. Let's go ahead and fire them up. You guys ready? Let's put up our cams online. We're starting engine 2, then 1. Turning 2. Here we go. I'll turn up the sounds. Shh. Oh, dang it. Pretty dang good. That sounds like a good engine start on number 2. She's stable. Let's go ahead and start engine 1. I reset this wing view. I don't know if I like it this far forward. See that slow animation through the window? That's pretty cool. That's a really good animation on that fan blade down there. I know it's hard to see with the window texture, but that's with frame gen too. Good. Yeah, somebody said the cowling. Look at that. The cowling is reflecting the sky on through the window. This is wild. And the wing flex Kiva with the fuel out there on those outboards, it's just awesome. I love it. I love it, man. All right, we got 2 good starts. That's going there. Hydraulic pumps going to auto. APU control is coming off. Overhead is set. We're doing a flaps 1. Look at the reflection moving as the slats were coming out. That was pretty cool. Oh, look at those flaps, though. The wing textures, 10 out of 10 on this bird. I mean, this looks so good to me. I have 2 pet peeves with the E-jets: the noise level in the cockpit and excessive drag. That the wing that makes you descent more than 3 degrees on average. Sounds like a skill issue, Gustavo. The noise level in the cockpit. What's wrong with the noise level in the cockpit? Sounds pretty good to me. All right, we got 2 good starts. Flaps 1, the speed brake. We don't arm that. My wife is asking if I'm able to come out for coffee delivery. Am I able to go out there? Yes. I might have to leave for a second. I got to pick up the coffee. Coffee is crucial before takeoff. All right, everything else looks good. We're 22.8. Let's get the nose light on and let's get rolling. Taxi's wonderful with the tiller as well. Oh, I hear what you're saying. That fuel pump, Gustavo. Yeah, I mean, if you had a headset on, though, you wouldn't notice it. And here's the thing. I'm always very cautious about turning sounds down in the cockpit because I like the extra oomph because we can't feel anything. But I kind of get what you're getting at there, that idle engine spool up there. Okay, we got to get coffee. Let me run out here. I'm going to park here on the ramp. Give me 1 second. Make sure I'm not blocking anybody. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll go down here and then hold short so I can get some coffee. Does it have the floaty taxi model? Does it have the floaty taxi model like the Fenix, or is it PMDG and on rails? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I feel like it feels pretty good on the ground. Now what you can do if you're not careful is you can easily snub that nose wheel if you're going too fast. I mean, it's not F28 BAE 146 ground handling, but it's pretty good. I would say more floaty if I'm thinking about it now. I would say it feels a little bit more floaty. It actually taxis like the sim does, because the real level D sims, they all taxi kind of floaty. All right, I'm going to set the brake here. And Guatemala traffic, I'll be on 357. We're holding short here. We're going to hold short here. We'll be right back. Got to get something out of the lav. All right, I'm going to kill the nose light. I'm going to set the brake. I'm going to grab my coffee. I will be right back. You have control. You guys watch this guy start. I'll be right back. Just got to install the tactical Flightbox. Hang on. All right. Nothing like 270 people watching wing view there for no reason. All right. Just assuring the tactical Flightbox. This is going to be an interesting takeoff here. All right. Let's see. Guatemala traffic copying on 357, taxi on 02. All right, let's go, chat. Taxi light nose. Let's go. Let's do a little flight control check here while we're taxiing. Make sure our Bruner is working properly. Beautiful. That looks good. We'll put you back on the map view. Oh, helps if you release the brakes. We're back. All right. Fire truck in the way. Runway heading is 2020. Not that we need it, but we'll bug it just in case. The cable flexing on the yoke? Where?
Quadrant traffic, Avias 714, rejoining taxiway.
Oh, over here, yeah.
West taxiway, the cargo.
All right, so we have heading LNAV. We need to hit this little button. Roll TO, AT on. We're TO, roll TO. LNAV is armed. Looking good, looking good. RTO on the auto brake, please. Took me a second. Find the brake. Trim is 2.2. That checks where flaps want. Looking good. So you can see here I added just a little bit of bump if you watch it, like when you hit the turtles. Let's see if I'll hit another one. Oh, there was one. Just an ever so slight vibration if you hit those turtles. Love that. Not commenting in the sim version. This is the real jet. I recall the cruise on Azul in 2015. Override the descent path to 3.5 to have more consistent glide path. Interesting. I never had an issue putting the tail on the horizon. I just do that. Put the tail on the horizon. That's 3 degrees down. You should be good to go. That last juicy wing view. You want some more? I mean, the wing view is some of the. This is one of the juiciest wing views we got. I mean, look at that. Just awesome. Thought of getting a butt kicker, add to feel. Zach, I might. We'll see. Sounds like the engines are vacuuming the taxiway. I don't think so. I think they sound pretty good. I see what Gus is saying, though. Like in the cockpit, they seem a little umphy. But I actually, and I've said that before, I actually prefer that because you can't feel yourself moving. You're not in there. You're in a static sim, right? So having a little extra juice in the cockpit to give you an idea of what your engines are doing. I do question the spool up time. It seems like they spool up pretty fast, but I guess these are smaller engines than I'm used to. So maybe that is accurate. Oh, Canadian, I don't hate you, man. That 7.3 wing view is nice too. 7.3 wing view is nice, but E-190 wing view I think is better than the 7.3 wing view because it's shorter and there's just more going on. Oh, you want to see something cool too? Speaking of PMDG, I can't get them up because it's a roll. But when you deploy the ground spoilers, take a look under the E-190 and then take a look under your PMDG and let me know what you see as the differences. Are you going to do the FSS 727? Yeah, Lemon Wolf, for sure, man. For sure. Do you manual thrust takeoff here, or there's a Toga knob? Good, man. So there's actually a detent on the real aircraft. So you have a Toga detent, and then you have max, what is that, TO reserve. So this is your, like, like, max, like, we're going to crash, or wind shear situation, right? Toga, this is your standard button. There's only... the standard detent. There's only 2 detents on the 170-190 as opposed to the Airbus where you have a flex MCT, a climb, and a Toga. This is Toga, that's where you set it, and then max for go around reserve thrust. In real life, that's a detent, and you can kind of feel it. Once the 7.2 drops, the wife's not going to hear V1 from, yeah, water, 100%, man, 100%. Are you a Cessna or Piper guy? I prefer the Piper over the Cessna. If you're just talking like single engine trainers. Piper Aero flies way better than the Cessna 172. Is it a better trainer? That's debatable. Alright, how many likes do we have for takeoff here? Let's see. We only got 128. So we're definitely not going to hit 250. So we're not going to do an outside view takeoff unless you guys all smash the like button and we hit 250. But I think that's going to be a tough feat. So we'll probably do inside view takeoff. Because we got a bunch of lamos here. Nobody's on final. Let's go. Guatemala traffic. Avianca 357 going to depart runway 20 out to the southeast. Guatemala traffic. Let's light them up. Attendant call. We normally used to do ding dong, ding dong. Oh, wow, look at that lineup. Pre-takeoff check completed. Yeah, that 146. Whoever's flying the 146, shout out. You the real man today. Alright, you all ready? Let's get out of here. We'll spool them up 50. Only 190 on the likes. Hey, 190 for a 190. That's pretty good, though. Toga. All right, here we go. Power set. Airspeed's alive. Look at the altitude, though. 5,000 feet, how slow it is. 80 knots, thrust is set. V1. Rotate. Nice and easy, nice and easy. About 11 degrees, positive rate, gear up. Fly with. Oh yeah, look at that juice. It's blowing. I can feel it in the yoke right now. We should hit this waypoint and she should cycle to the bank angle check to the right. There it is, LNAV, flight level change. Trim it down. There's F speed. Flaps are coming up. I mean, those engines are working. Watch the speed there. That's me. Lower. Look how low my pitch is. Gotta get that pitch back up. Spin that heading bug around. I think there was a 200 knot speed restriction. There's 250. Maybe not. All right, we're 250. Joining the LNAV path. We're in climb 2, 8.6 for 290. Looking good. Oh yeah, I gotta turn my TCAS on. That's my bad. I'm gonna turn the airplane down way loud. Did you guys enjoy that? TCAS TAR, thank you. Guatemala traffic copying on 357 out of 10,000, climbing flight level 290, off to the southeast. Last call, Guatemala. All right, there's 10K. Lights are coming off. Swoop! There's 270. We'll get back up to the flight director. Now, what's interesting, and this is so crazy to me, if there's any E-Jet drivers in chat, I know A-Rod is one. I look at old videos of me flying the E-Jets, and I always had two hands on the yoke, which is weird because that must have just been a company thing because now, you know, they always stress below 2,500, there's one hand always on the throttles. Even, you know, you take them off at V1 and then rotate, positive rate, gear up, and you put your hand back on the throttles. But in all the videos and pictures that I have when I was flying these jets in real life, I always had two hands on. So did the other pilot. So I don't know if that's just maybe a standard Embraer thing, or maybe we were just not. And maybe that's an old, outdated procedure that's been changed. But I find it interesting because I grabbed that yoke with two hands, and I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but that's how I flew it in real life. All right, we'll come back to the right here. Sometime we break sometime we break speed limit, sometime we don't. What's up, Lauren? How you doing on this fine day? Lauren, are you of the hate on the E-Jet, or are you of the love? I made a special little intro splash screen with Cat 5 and Phantom 320 crying when I started this stream. All right, there's 18. I think it's actually 19 here for transition. There's transition. 2909 is set. Now I think shouldn't AT still be on? Or I'm still in the... Hold on. What happened to my auto throttle? There we go. That might have been a bug, because I should have been speed on elevator, auto thrust arm. It looked like I was... That's probably because I was in the detent. So, there we go. Now we're back on auto throttle mode. Not a big issue because we're speed on elevator. We're pitching for speed. We're at a fixed thrust here at climb 2 power. But, you know, come to level off, if you don't change that, you will overspeed. So, I armed it, Team Vodka. But I think what happened is I was in the detent. But I thought it would pull it out of the detent. I'll have to double check. I mean, you talk about like me enjoying hand flying this airplane. It hand flies so well, and it doesn't just fly well with the Bruner. I mean, it flies good with other yokes too, because I flew it with the TCA yoke, and it's such a joy to hand fly. I really, truly enjoy hand flying this bird. My friend who flies for a Brickyard is saying the flaps 4 is full flaps and 5 is E-170 is more of a check. Flaps 4 is full flaps and 5 on the E-170 is more of a check. Well, I gotta remember, I think one of them you can't use for takeoff, I think. So you go to 4, but it's essentially the same as 3. Maybe that's what you're referring to? Good old Brickyardigans. Alright, now I do want to test my profile here, so I'm going to turn the autopilot on early. I want to see how this new profile is working here. So AP is on. And let's see how the yoke does here. We may have issues. Again, this is an experimental thing for me here. This is not an E-Jet thing. This is me experimenting with the Bruner. Gustavo, it wasn't the detent. I wonder if we ever see a 220. It's supposed to be coming, Scott. It's supposed to be coming, man. Oh, look at this. All right, I want to see what happens here in the turn. Is the yoke going to move at all here? Let's see. I'll keep the yoke cam up. Getting ready to make the turn at... Bravo. Yeah, look at that. The yoke is turning. Look at that. Let's see if she stays on path. I think so. Oh, that is juicy. Definitely bumpy. Look at that wing flex. That wing flex, FSS wing flex is better than PMDG 7.3 wing flex. 777 wing flex is really good. But 7.3 wing flex I still think is like, I don't know. To each their own, I guess. But I think the 7.3 wing flex should look more like this. I feel like this wing flex is a little smoother, a little more spongy, get a little more absorption of that turbulence. Team Vodka, I know, but no, use my profile. I already had a working profile. This is working fine, dude. Look at this. No TCS mode, and the autopilot is following, the yoke is following the autopilot as it should. Try my new profile, man. I sent it to you in the Discord. I like this little click spot here for range. All right, 25.6 for 290. Let's come back down to our flight plan. That looks good. We're naving to Capan. It looks like they're trying to get VNAV. You got the little projector here. This was such a huge help. This was, people asked me, what's one of the things that you miss about the Airbus, or miss about the Embraer when you went to the Airbus? This right here, this vertical profile, because when you're on a true VNAV arrival, or even in a vertical constraint on a SID, it will show you where those constraints are, and as long as your green line is at or above that fix, you know you're going to make it. So it basically renders the 3-to-1 rule, not, you know, you don't even need to do it anymore. And that's why when I got into my first sim on the A320, legitimately, it's like, oh yeah, 3-to-1 rule. I'm like, can you remind me what the 3-to-1 rule is again? Like, I completely forgot after years of flying this jet, because I was so accustomed to just using FPA and looking at the FPA on the VNAV profile. It can really, it's one of those things we talk about technology advancing, and you don't realize how accustomed you're getting to it, and you lose your old skills of mental math and old school navigation. They're perishable skills. They can collect dust. I think you may have an issue with the next waypoint. I'll tell you what, let's go, we're on a straight line. Let's go direct to Alteg. Let's try a direct. Let's go flight plan, direct ALTAG. Clean up the box. We're direct ALTAG. Things are looking good. 1,000 feet to level off. By the way, vertical path is a thing in a Boeing few months. I know, Canadian. Hey, look, I know it, man. V1, I did my first flight lesson today. Thank you for inspiring me. My passion for aviation. Special Crown 124. Hey, man, that is fantastic, dude. Congratulations. That is a very special moment. Your first flight lesson, dude. I hope you stick with it. I hope you enjoy. Your journey as a student pilot, man. Very cool. That's very cool stuff. A380 and 350 have it. Yes, they do. Not sure about the 330 Neo, but I'd say they also have it. Gustavo, I think they're trying to get all of them to have it. All right, here comes thrust reduction. We're speed on throttle now. So this is one of the only times. There's a handful of times, or really only this time in vertical speed, where you're going to be speed on throttle. So we're speed on throttle now. You can see here that that's changed. Now the thrust levers are going to be controlling the thrust. That is a very slow cruise. Let's see. Let's do 300 and 7.6. See if we can put that in there. 307.6. We'll bump it up. But it's just like yesterday, and it looks like our yoke is working perfectly, so I'll go back to full screen cam, but that's cool. So my Bruner is actually following the autopilot as it should, but we're still getting bumped around like we were yesterday. Player, this is the FSS E-Jets E-190. Thank you, Zippy. The yoke in the E-Jets is odd. I wonder how long it takes to get used to it. FlyJags, after your first few sims, you're used to it, man. You're used to it. And I came from traditional yoke aircraft all the way up until the E-Jet, and you get used to it. And it actually, once you get used to it, it almost feels, I would say it almost feels more intuitive in crosswind landings than a traditional style yoke. And not that the traditional style yoke is not good or less capable of the ram's horn, but just the way your wrist is when you're top down, when you're grabbing the yoke top down from the like this ram's horn here, it makes, at least to me anyway, I felt that I had a little bit more control. And you obviously have the same amount of control if the yoke was the size of a circle. It's just on how you move the yoke. But just mentally speaking, it actually became much more comfortable for me over time. And then I remember I did some contract work on some citations, and between flying the E-Jet and the Airbus, so I went right back to a traditional style yoke for a little bit, and I was like, man, I got to get used to this again. So you'll get used to it in a few sim sessions. Where it does have a major drawback though is when that yoke is moving, if you're on the ground and you get cracked by a wind gust and it flips the yoke over, or even in really, really gusty, windy conditions, that yoke is bouncing around, and if you're a tall person and your knees and thighs are up high, it will crack your knee, it will crack your thigh, and you will learn very quickly where to keep your legs in very rough conditions or during a flight control check. There's a reason we always say knees and nuts when we did flight control check. I heard they got that yoke from the Brits. Yeah, Zippy, was it the Vickers? And I think the Concorde actually had. I think the Concorde actually had a ramp style yoke, right? All right, so we're level at 300. You could see the winds are pretty shifty up here. I think I've been noticing this on multiple aircraft now, like this super shifty wind. I think this is maybe an update in the future, hopefully. I'm going to try selected speed to see if we can stabilize the N1s, to see how they're kind of chasing that speed there. What airplane were we flying just the other day where we were getting this? I think it was the MD-11, wasn't it? Where it was kind of doing this jitter. Alright, we're straight and level. Looking good, sounding good. Turn it down a little bit. Lauren, Concorde and Trident had it, so does the L-1011. Yes. Lauren, I watched an entire 1 hour and 30 minute L-1011 flight yesterday. It was awesome. I'm going to install P3D to get the L1011 again from Captain Sim. I think I have to do it. It was Royal Air, I think, on Canada. Out of Canada, they flew from Toronto or somewhere up there to Vegas. It's an hour and 20 minutes of like 1995 camera quality. I watched the whole thing. I'm such a nerd. The super shifty winds got me on the Fenix during both flights I made. I think it's a Microsoft issue. Yes, Zippy says that's Microsoft. The wind variable PFT doesn't know what to do. Right. So, and this is, let's go back to, you have your winds on realistic. Is that, it's what causes that? Lower medium is realistic. Al, are you talking about the turbulence setting? Maybe I should adjust that. If you're referring to the turbulence setting, Al, I might go in and change that. I'll see if it makes... let's just look right now. What the heck? Let's just see. General options. No, it's under... Sorry, it's under assistance options, piloting, turbulence. Let's try medium. Wow, we flew that approach yesterday in the F-28. Oh, look, Al, hey, Al, you win the chat comment of the day, my friend. That seems to stabilize it a little bit. It's still a tad shifty, but hey, that's way better than what it was doing. Appreciate you, Al. Thanks for that. But I can't believe we flew that F-28 approach with realistic on. It was so bumpy, y'all. That was so fun. I love that approach. I don't think the ram horn is like having your hands on a steering wheel at 10 and 2, or I think it would be. Yeah, kind of, Gary, kind of. Air Transit flew the L10? Yes, Air Transit did as well. Oh, look at that volcano down there. Let me turn up the sounds a little bit. I think the low is most realistic. Been using it for a while, especially for GA. I've catted on medium. I think only recently we turned it on realistic, and that's because we were flying the MD-11 and we weren't getting any wing flex. So this airplane obviously was getting some great wing flex. I think medium is the safe spot. Probably for GA, you're probably onto something, Beef Jesus. For GA aircraft, turning it to low. Turbulence, if you think about it, turbulence, though, is very hard to emulate through a static desktop sim, because what does turbulence do in real life? In real life, turbulence affects the aircraft's position in space. Thus, it has to react and recover aerodynamically, and you feel that recovery in your seat. And you sometimes, well, not sometimes, you will see that recovery and you'll see that disturbance and stability on your PFD. So when you have a desktop sim with no motion or anything like that, your really only depiction of turbulence is going to be the way your PFD is shifting and how your wings are flexing. It's got to be kind of a weird thing to try to emulate in the sim. And when you're sitting still and you don't feel anything, it's extra weird. That's why having turbulence setting on the yoke is pretty cool, because you feel the yoke jumping around. You're like, okay, not necessarily jumping around because you're overpowering it. You just feel the yoke trying to move, which is what happens in real life. Phoenix suggests low. Phoenix has no sense of adventure. Ethan Jolly, there is a Pro Desk Sim throttle mod you can buy for the Bravo. Throttletek does make an E-Jet, or Throttletek does make an Embraer E-Jet throttle quadrant with the true reverser axis detent situation. I've not used one, but I do know that Throttletek makes an E-Jet throttle. Hey, Shaq Oatmeal. The commercial pilot himself. Static and dynamic recovery. Was just learning about this. What a time to join in. Shaq, what's up, my man? Hope you're doing well, dude. Dude, I can't believe you don't have MD-11 on that pole, man. She doesn't love you back. You just gotta force it, Shaq. Just gotta force loves, man. You know, gotta get that MD-11 flying. Hope you're doing well, dude. You gotta amp the turbulence up when you do hurricane flights. Yeah, Gary, the next hurricane flight, we'll amp it up to, like, realistic. I heard someone went off the runway in St. Martin on your stream. Who? Oh, on Shaq's stream? Surely Shaq wouldn't go off the runway. I did see Shaq was flying. Dude, your short video was hilarious. First day as an airline pilot. Oh, good old TFDI, man. TFDI. The Aviator, going back to your question, realistic is not realistic. The way it's set right now, no, because the way the winds are shifting in the PFD and the airplane's constantly trying to react, no, that's not how the real airplane behaves. Now, you can have the winds be very shifty in real life. That does happen, but there's got to be some sort of like smoothing or some sort of leveling out process that the aircraft takes into account, because you don't see your speed doing that jittery stuff. You'll see it moving around. You'll see it moving up, moving down, and it can move pretty quick, but it doesn't jitter like it does in the sim. What turbulence should I use for airliners? Talon's Aviation. I've been flying on realistic for a while, but as of late, with the winds that we're dealing with down here in South America, I've just now put it back to medium, and that fixed my jittery speed up here. So I would suggest, if you're just, you know, flying a wide range of stuff, stay on medium. If you want to spice it up a little bit, I mean, you can put it on realistic. We flew an F-28 into Guatemala yesterday, gusting 30 with realistic, and it felt awesome. It flew awesome. It was a super fun challenge. But up at cruise, it gets a little bit hard to manage. So if your airplane is struggling at cruise, knock it down to medium. That's what we just did, courtesy of Al Loper, and it fixed our PFD indication. But if you're not having any issues, I'd say run it on realistic, because I haven't had any issues on realistic other than recently, and that's when these winds are really swirly up here in this cruise altitude. There should be adjustments on the FADEC next update this month that might smooth out the throttle chasing. Very cool, Team Vodka. Okay. Although no changes published yet. Team Vodka, was there an update today? I saw something where someone was saying that there's an update supposed to be coming today. And I had an update for this bird when I loaded in. Want to do some outside view? Let's do some outside view. Whoa, sorry ears, sorry ears. Let's find a better view here. Ooh, that's actually not bad. Kind of a below view. That's not bad. We don't have a super long flight. We'll throw some. I was really enjoying. I really like what we've dialed in here now, though. Depending on where we fly, we use that country's theme for music. I'll turn the airplane off. It's kind of loud right there. Canadian, the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate you. I have nothing to say, so sorry. Hey, don't be sorry, man. Hey, thanks for the support, Canadian. I hope you're doing well. I saw you flying the King Air. Now, are you flying that in preparation for real world King Air flying soon? But thanks for the support. And man, I will say I have something to say since you don't have something to say. I'm disappointed. The one time I fly in Canada, our resident Canadian is not here. So now we got to do another Canadian stream. We'll go back up to Canada, man. When are we going to get the long haul with XP and Mr. Oatmeal here? Ooh, zippy. Let's do it Friday. Hey, Shaq, what do you say? What do you say we all do a long haul on Friday? XP, you, me. Everybody will fly the same route. We'll just see how much chaos we can get going. I kind of want to go. So I'm tentatively was planning Rio to St. Martin. I think that would be a fun flight. Thanks for the 7 months of support. Got to get ready for the PT6 action in 2.5 months. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That's going to be awesome, Canadian. You're going to love it, dude. I can't wait for you to report back on your first ever PT6 flight. I'm trying to find this. We had some better songs yesterday. There we go. Has Captain Ken ever dropped by? Yeah, he's dropped by a couple times. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, man, I got nothing but respect for the guy. He's been doing it a long time, and he makes good stuff. So, yeah, he's dropped by a handful of times. Not enough parking space at the destination, though. Do a shared cockpit? I know. So what I am going to do is, after this stream, I'm updating X-Plane 12. Because I want to see the rotate MD-11 wings. Because AJ Funari, who's probably not here, hopefully he's not here, hopefully he won't let me say this. AJ Funari posted some pictures. And Thomas Ray, I believe. He goes by Relics in the Discord. He posted some rotate MD-11 wing views. And dang, that rotate MD-11 wing looks pretty darn good. And now that I'm kind of familiar with MD-11 procedures, I want to see how that airplane handles. I want to see how that airplane handles an X-plane. Plus, I need to update X-plane anyway because we're going to be flying the Tolas here shortly for some check ride prep streams. Oh, dang it, AJ's here. Don't let him hear me say anything positive about X-plane. It's the feds. That view there without the window border? You want that view right there? That's what you want? I like the windows on this airplane. There are certain airplanes that have good windows and certain airplanes that don't. This airplane has really good windows. Look at how smooth that animation is of the N1 fan, though. Compare that to the MD-11 animation from P3D. According to the website, the next E-Jet update will be published July 16th. So tomorrow, Al. Thanks, Al. All right, well, we'll keep an eye out for it. Lauren says, I just removed most of X-Plane from the PC over the weekend. Oh, boy, Lauren. Well, welcome to Team Future. Does that mean failure stream? A diabetic lad, oh, yeah. It means all sorts of failures. And I haven't been... So here's how training works. You bid for... And a month in advance, before you actually get your schedule for the rest of the month, you bid for your training week. And it's either, depending on what kind of training you're doing, it could be 3 days or 4 days. Sometimes it can be 5 days if they got to put travel days on both ends. So I bid for my for training in August, but I got the first week of August, which is which you don't want because you have the least amount of time to prepare. I normally like having the last week of the month for training because I don't find out until the 15th or like the 13th, the month prior, of what my schedule is like in August. So on the 13th of this month, if I found out my training was the last week of August, okay, I've got 6 weeks to prepare, right? No, it's the first week. So I literally have 2 weeks to study up and get ready to go in the sim. And it's my full like recurrent sim and ground. So we're going to hit it hard. Let me look at the schedule right now. I got a 2-day trip starting tomorrow. Yeah, next week we'll probably do some more fun flying this week. I think we're doing MD-11 on the 18th and 19th. We're going to do 2 MD-11 streams probably. Might fly something over the weekend, fun. But Monday the 22nd of July, mark your calendars. That's when we're going to hit it hard, chat. We're going to start a week of check ride prep. And if you haven't been around, depending on what we're doing that stream, I might actually have just chat to members only. And it's much more... It's much less interactive with chat, and it's much more me making sure I've got everything I need down for going into the real world simulator for real world training. Lauren, that's what I'm at. That's where I'm at, Lauren, is the scenery issue, because I've seen some great advancements. I'd say advancements. I've seen some pretty good improvements in X-Plane 12 on their latest update visually, but if you don't spend time downloading orthos and getting your scenery file, it's like, it's just, no, I can't. I don't have the time for that. I don't have the time for X-Plane 12 to make it be what it can be. That's my problem. That's my problem. I'm right there with you. I don't have the time to deal with the scenery issues. Now, when we do check ride prep, I could care less about scenery, so we're still going to do it. And the TOLUS allows for really awesome rapid save, rapid restart for setting up for V1 cuts and everything. So I don't know what I'm done with that song there. Let's get over there. That's elevator music. Hold on. Let me go. That's a little bit more chill. Ooh, I like that wing view. Not worth it just for the Tolis 321, which is all that is left. Uh-oh. P3D, we don't talk about that. Induct should be funny with the lights up, with the flights up north, like way up north. I think the first flight to Kujara Peak. Wow, I've never even heard of that, Canadian. There's only one suitable song. What's that? The balloon song? Adrian, welcome to Private Pilot. Glad to have you on board. Thank you for joining the channel. Exclamation point welcome. For your new perks here at V1 Nation. Glad to have you on board. Don't listen to AJ, whatever he says. And glad to have you on. I almost got X-Plane 12 to fly 350 on 7.5, but both are coming to Microsoft. Yes. So no point. That will be absolute soon. So, ow, we need the music from the MD-11 long haul. That was wild. I can't believe. I think we actually had more viewers. Maybe it was 187, 287. The amount of y'all in the chat that were listening to the balloon song out over the Pacific Ocean was it was hilarious. The chat was, it was just hilarious. But speaking of going back to who said the 350 and 7.5 Maso, yes, here's the thing. With the 2024 on the horizon, you have an incredible slate of aircraft that are coming out. You have the potential for the sim to really up its game. Right now, I'll tell you straight up honestly, X-Plane 12, especially when it comes to abnormal flight characteristics, single engine flying, V1 cuts, brake deceleration, you know, the feeling of inertia when you're decelerating a heavy airplane on a hot, high field elevation situation. X-Plane 12 is still superior there. There's really no debate in my mind about that. However, with what's on the roadmap and with what Microsoft has said they're improving in 24 with ground friction, inertia, hopefully, maybe some weather changes. You combine that with the airplanes that are coming out for 24, it has the potential to be the nail in the coffin for X-Plane, for me personally. Now, you fly whatever sim you want to fly. That's the best part about this sim, right? We can all fly whatever sim we want to fly, so I'm not... But for me, if Microsoft can deliver in those small areas where we get maybe some sort of, at least an improved inertia feeling, because inertia is really, I want to say it's non-existent in 2024, or I'm sorry, in Microsoft 2020, but then I fly airplanes like the Fokker F-28. I fly the, what else has, like, you can feel the inertia in it. The MD-11, honestly, on the ground feels really good on the ground, flying the MD-11 on the ground, taxiing around, so you can feel that inertia. The 777, to an extent, 146s have it. All of Just Flight really has nailed that. I don't know what black magic they got going on, but the way they program their flight models, it's possible, but it's not widespread amongst all the add-ons in Microsoft 2020. Hopefully 24 addresses that. Yes, INI A300, absolutely. INI A300 has that. Too long didn't read. I explained 12 is the best. Felix, look, man. If I'm just sad, Felix, that X-Plane 12, the FlyJ72 hasn't been updated for it, because had it been updated out of the gate, I probably would have forced myself to do more in X-Plane 12 and the 7.2, but the update never really came, so we'll see. And now, supposedly, we have a 7.2 on the horizon here from FSS, which, getting back into this E-Jet here, I'm even more excited, because, yeah, we don't have VNAV, but this is still a great airplane. The sounds are good. It flies wonderfully. I would even wager to say that the inertia feeling on this flight model is up there. So now, getting on the ground, we'll see. Its ground is just a Microsoft problem, a Zobo problem, ground friction. But yeah, Nabil, the 7.2 is supposed to come this month, and if it's as good as it can, I'm going to have to study up for training, because I'm going to be so busy wanting to fly the 727. We might have to do multiple days of multiple streams. Have to work in the morning. We'll run it like real work. We'll do our check ride prep streams from like 9 to noon, and then we'll just party from 3 to 5 p.m. in the 727. SimWorks, yes, the Aviator, they are, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'm a little disappointed at the PC-12. I had a little higher hopes for the PC-12, and so that one to me, it's hard for me to get excited about the SimWorks 727. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I love competition, right? Competition is good for us consumers. Hey, I hope everybody comes out with it. I hope Fenix announces a 727. That would never happen. PMDG announces 727, because guess what? If you have multiple of them, now they're going to drive each other to be who's got the best one. You know, so competition is good for the consumer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Peed Monitor's here. Everybody hide. Hide. Peed Monitor. Hopefully you weren't here from the beginning. To any VAAL Virtual members in the chat wonder why we don't allow the ERJ at this time, please go to the announcements channel on our Discord and watch the video series on it we released last week. I did watch that, Peed Monitor. Very well put. And I have to say, Peed Monitor, I think you very eloquently put it. I was laughing. We're all just waiting for toys. We are playing with toys. We are adults playing with toys. I was laughing at that. That was very well said. Piedmont also says it explains why we have banned it for now and extensively documents our issues, which go far beyond the lack of VNAV. It's never just been about VNAV. Right, FMS, right? The FMS. The FMS is about as good as the CRJ 200 FMS. Okay, sorry. I just had to take a shot there. Pied Monitor. But hey. It's just so fun to fly, though, man. Peed Monitor, have you flown it? Have you flown it, like, not on the VA? It's just fun to fly. So what's up, man? 100% agreed that X-Plane has the superior handling and physics, but since I have no idea how flying an actual plane feels, it doesn't mean much to me personally. Agreed. Masso, I hear you, man. The PC-12 is supposed to be getting an update? Yes, it's supposed to be getting an update. It was supposedly getting an update a while ago. All right, how far out are we, chat? Because we don't have... Where's our Prague? Distance to go, MROC. We're 210 miles. We'll have to start down here pretty soon. Got a link you can post in the view on Discord? I'm not in the VAs. Oh. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's in the VA Discord. P-Monitor was just explaining. They did a survey about, I guess, what they want changed and stuff. And the E-Jets is a hot topic. That's why, see, my thumbnail is not, my title is not clickbait. And it's not just that VA. I mean, every time I fly this airplane, there's always somebody in chat that says something. There's always comments on the replay or on the VOD. It's like, why do you support FSS? This is a junk airplane. Every time I fly this airplane, there's always dramas. At the end of the day, I'm just having fun, man. Did I tell you, V1, there's no autopilot in any of the King Airs I'll be flying? Neither the 1900T. Hey, man, they're probably old Amflight jets or Amflight birds. It's okay, Canadian. That beach flies so well, man. You don't need it, dude. It's just such a good bird. You're gonna absolutely love it. What's Good Times Paradise? Oh, this is kind of like the balloon song. Yeah. All right. We're probably going to step down here. Let's take a look at our flight here. What are we doing? We are coming up on... Can you try flight into PAP-G, Petersburg, Alaska? Cool RNAV and LDA. Ooh. You know, we could go back to Alaska. Petersburg, Alaska. I'll have to look at it, Shaq. All right, Elena is there. Let's go back to our charts page. Charts... We don't need MGGT, MROC. Wow, look at the... I wish I had a sunshade right here to block the glare on my EFB. Bara 3. Bara's between... Let's make life easy. So Bara... let's make Bara a hard altitude of 10 thou. Well, actually, where are we coming up on? Elena, Rada. We're still a little ways out, aren't we? Actually, no. Let's descend now to... Let's at least set 240 so we can meet that first restriction at or below. Oh, I gotta put you back in thousands. .240. We're gonna FPA 3 degrees down. Now we're speed on throttle. We gotta keep an eye on our flight path angle, right? Because the speed on throttle, the thrust levers control the speed. If they come to idle and your descent path or your flight path angle is greater than that of which it can maintain that speed, it will accelerate and you will overspeed. So we are speed on throttle. FPA is coming down. We'll do 2 degrees. 2 degrees down, FPA. Get ready to set up for the ILS. Or actually for the RNAV, sorry. Phantom didn't have to draw too long for me to zone out and conclude FSS indeed stood for a flight. I don't believe it, man. Lauren, I don't believe it. I don't. At least even the 190. The 190. If you don't like the 170s, fly the 190s. That's all right though. They Phantom. I think FSS reached out and never mind. I'm not going to talk about Phantom without him here to defend himself, or else he's going to text me. I was buzzing around Venezuela on the PC-12 day. I'm editing a video right now, but it could use an update. Yeah, logo lights. Does it still do that weird like slippy thing on final? Uh-oh. Phantom's here. I was gonna say the FSS, the E-Jet reached out and touched Phantom, and he doesn't like he's got an axe to grind with them now. Dude, they're not. It's good. It flies. Like, hey, look. I know the FMC is like the CRJ, reskinned. What was the mod? That reskin mod, but hand flying this bird. Come on, you tell me hand flying this bird is that bad? Nothing. Oh boy, I better be careful because Phantom's a mod too. I better be careful. Hey, did you see the intro splash screen? Am I ever going to fly the E-Jet freighter? Probably not, Aaron, just because I've never flown an E-Jet freighter and I don't really have I'm just a little bit different when it comes to cargo in the sim. I'm not a huge sim cargo fan. I like the passenger variant of simulation, really. Now, we're going to get a whole lot of cargo flying when the 7.2 drops, because the first one that drops is going to be the cargo version. So we're going to be doing a lot of freight in the 7.2. But as far as me getting the E-Jet freighter, it's not on the radar. You did fly it, and you still think it's bad. Man. It's hard to please, man. Hard to please. I don't know why they decided to make an E-Jet freighter. Not sure what it's supposed to carry. Well, yeah, who even has them, Lauren? Like, does anybody... I'm sure they're out, right? Because I think I saw an actual article for the E-Jet freighter, but are they widespread use yet? Oh, it's just being delivered? Unfortunately, the hand flying is the best part about it, but the 175 at least is overpowered. Okay. I haven't flown the 175 in a minute. Maybe we'll have to take that one out next. This one doesn't seem to be too overpowered. I mean, relatively light. We'll see. We'll have to. Maybe we should test it. Maybe we should load it down and do a max weight. Now takeoff. I mean, a takeoff roll felt very believable. 5,000 foot field elevation, moderate load. I mean, that acceleration took quite a while at Toga. They chose a freighter over a VNAV and custom FMC bomb tech. Well, I mean, this is what I was saying earlier, BombTech. Think about it this way. Let's say you have a company of programmers and developers right? And you have a certain group that is there to make models and do artwork. You have a certain group that's there to do sounds. You have a certain group there that's to do flight model, and then a separate group or person to do coding for the FMS, right? So if the artwork team, the sound team, and the model team is pretty much done with that version, are you going to just let them sit idle and not work on anything else because of the FMS team? So I can see, and I can see strategically from a managerial perspective, if you've got separate people doing separate things, spread them out, let them start on other things. And I mean, if it's you just got to make some model changes for the freighter, right? And you got to make some weight changes and stuff. I don't see why that's terribly a problem of running a cargo version. Phantom says in the 175 in real life, yes, it's okay. Yeah, it is. It's a slug. In the FSS though, he made it to 34,000 doing 25 to 300 feet per minute the whole time. Interesting. At 290 knots. 1,000 to 1,200 feet going up there in real life. Well, really? I don't know. It's been so long since I've flown a 175. I will tell you the 321 though. Absolute slug. I was doing like 800 feet per minute the other day, trying to get to 34. All right, I got 11 set, and actually I want to set that to 10. So I'm going to go back to thousands, and we're going to set 10,000 feet, and I'm going to make Bara a hard 10. Well, that's on the other arrival though, so we actually should make it 12,000. All right, so 12 is going to be our bottom for OC 507. OC 507. And let's do some math here. 3 to 1 rule. So we're at 24, 12. That's 12,000 feet times 3 is 36. Give me an extra, I don't know, 5 or 8 miles. 36, 41, 42 miles or so. From 507, we should start down. So we're 20, we're 35, 55, 60, plus another 16. We're 76. 86 miles out, so we're not quite there to start down, but we are about another 30 miles or so we'll start down. Quick mental math to see if we can cross that at the bottom at 12,000. This is truly the controversial jet. I told you, Masso. I told you. If you fly freight, do it in the Metro. I wish we had a good Metro liner, man. I wish we had a good Metro. How long has this thing been out for? I find it interesting to read they're still labeling it as early access on their website. I actually don't know when it got released, to be honest with you. I know it's been out for a while. I'll stay with the Black Square King Air. Just kind of sad it's a 350. I prefer 200 Canadian. Me too. I wish we had, I really wish we had something else than a 350. Now, I did see that Black Square said that they're going to work on their own, or like they're revamping the Black Square King Air, and I'm hoping that's going to be pretty nice when it's all said and done. Released in January of 23, so yeah, it's almost a year and 6 months exactly. Year and a half old. I'm going to do some CRJ flying. I don't have auto throttle, but I deal with it. See, now let's talk about the CRJ. The CRJ to me has one of the most terrible flight models in the sim. It's literally a default flight model. The box is mediocre at best, but no one really complains about the CRJ. And I get the hate for this bird because it's like you release other airplanes before one is finished. But again, I fall back on my original example. If you have multiple people doing different things, if they're done, why not send them out to do other things? That's just a business strategy. Now, I also understand that it's also a red flag, because I do know there are companies that will take advantage of that just to get money, and never provide an actual product. And so I understand that that's a thing. I'm going to go direct 507 here for math purposes. That gives us distance to is 88 miles. So we said at around 40-something miles, we're going to start down to cross 507 at 12,000. And 507 will be a hard bottom at 12 at 250 knots. We'll cut the corner there a little bit, save a little time. ERJ1 literally has hardly any resemblance to the real one, other than some visual aspects. Talking about the box. I mean, visually it looks pretty good. I'm in perf and knit page. Speaking of perf, let's do our landing perf. And I think we can actually, can we calculate that over here? I forget. I don't think we can. No. Runway heading is going to be... Oh, I got to look it all up. Let's pull up. Let's pull out the MROC. I think that this has a better EFB than the TFDI. If I'm being honest with you. Approach. Let's just throw fuel to the fire. Let's just light this stream on fire. I think this has a better EFB than the TFDI for sure. ILS Zulu. No, we're doing the R&P 25, the visual. We're actually going to see it in the visual here. The final approach course is 251 degrees. The weather down there is probably hot. Someone get a METAR for me. I think it's, I'll put 2.5. That's probably close enough. We're going to do flaps 5. No, let's do flap. We'll do flap full because of the circle. We'll do flap full, non-precision, ice speeds are off. Landing VREF speeds are set 23, 28, 43, and VFS of 184 with the landing flap of full. Distance to OC 507, 71 miles. We got a little bit of time left. All right, back to the chat here. Hopefully it's not, hasn't caught on fire yet. Oh, you guys are just going back and forth. See? Canadian. Hey, Canadians get something to... Canadian, how you doing, man? I figured out earlier this month that the King Air 100 and 200 are the same plane, except engines and tail. Same fuselage, same cabin space. For some reason, the 200 looks way bigger. Well, there are variants of the 100, right? The F1... Or no, that's the F90. Phantom's a King Air expert, too. But yes, was it the King Air F90 had the different tail. Unrelated to the FSS ERG, if you want to check your DMs for me later today, if you have a minute. Oh, Piedmonter, will do, man. Sorry, dude. Yeah, I'll check him. I shall check him out. Hopefully this doesn't create too much of a shitstorm for you guys. I just wanted to fly the E-Jet, man. I have fun flying this bird. You know what the problem is, Phantom? You need the Brunner force feedback yoke, dude. Get the Brunner, and I guarantee you will fall in love with this airplane. This airplane with the Brunner is working fantastic. Yoke follows autopilot the way it should, the way turbulence feels, the way the trim feels. It hand flies awesomely. So I think maybe what the problem is Phantom needs to get the Brunner force feedback yoke and then reassess. Companies shouldn't release planes that aren't ready for prime time. It taints their image, and if they ever make it right, people will be gun shy to buy it. Yes and no. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I don't think they released it for prime time. I mean, it straight up says early access, it's unfinished. So, and again, I don't want to be taking the side of just, you know, having an apologist attitude for features that aren't implemented, but think about the reality. Every dev is different, right? I mean, look at the delays that Fenix has for the 1921. Look at missed windows that we've had over the years for products promised to be coming out. And while I understand that happens for good reason, look at the state of the sim. When it gets updated, I have no doubt in my mind that that can cause issues for something that's in development, especially something as complex as an FMS VNAV profile. So I can understand where that can continue to get caught up. But hey, at the end of the day, I'll be the one that looks like a clown if VNAV never gets released. Then I'll stand here, or I'll sit here rather, and be the first to tell you that I got clowned out of $50, $60, whatever this airplane was. All right, there's 48 miles. Here we go. FPA selected, 3 degrees down. We shall go. FPA 3 will maintain 300. I might dial it back here if we start getting a little bit more bumpy, but we'll see. FPA 3 degrees down. I'll buy this plane when it's finished. Only reason why I haven't yet is I'm not interested in the Aegis overall. Hey, Buckeye Fly, right there. I hear you, man. And that's, you know, I said that's part of my perspective is and I'll 100% agree to it. I'm more partial to the E-Jets because I've flown these birds in real life, right? This was the first jet, or not first jet. This was my ATP type right certificate was on the E-Jet. I flew both the 190s and the 170s, and I really enjoyed them. I had really good memories flying them. So I have a connection to the bird that I can understand. If you don't have a connection to it, then it's easier to point out flaws. That's just a reality. If you really don't care about a certain airplane and it has flaws, you're going to be like, well, you're just going to use those flaws to continue to not justify, but that they're more valid to you. If you really, really want an airplane, and you really, really love an airplane, and it comes out and it has some flaws, you're more likely to overlook some. And I'm not saying that I'm here overlooking flaws. I'm just saying here, I enjoy it. I mean, there's nothing, in my opinion, on this 190 that is glaringly going to make me not enjoy flying it. Now, let's see how this approach goes, and maybe I'll change my mind. But again, I'm just having fun, man. I'm playing with my toys here. I also think a certain someone put a bad taste in people's mouth, but that's just my opinion. Hey, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure about that. McAllen says FSS at the very least did a better job than TFDI, in my opinion. At least they said it was early access. Hey, McAllen, you have a great point. You have a great point, man. TFDI, you get 2 airplanes for $80. It's supposed to be full release, and I would completely agree with you, McAllen, that the TFDI to me feels like a beta product. It's just rough, and I love that airplane. You guys heard me talk about it. I love flying it. I want to fly it more. I can't stop flying it, but it just needs a quality of life update. It needs one bad, and we need a sound pack. Thanks for flying the E-Jets. You helped a couple of my friends convince me to pick up the 170, 175 despite my misgivings, and I really enjoy them. Hey, see, there is someone from the chat, RPG Gamers. Thanks for your opinion, man. I rarely have anybody come in here and say they bought this airplane and they hate their life that they bought it. That rarely happens. More often than not, people come in and say, hey, you know, after seeing you fly it, I picked it up. And I am not sponsored by FSS. I bought this airplane. I bought the 170, and I will buy the 7.2. I wish I was sponsored by FSS because I would like to have the 727 early access, but I don't. This is literally an airplane that I purchased. There's no sponsorship ties to it at all whatsoever, and I have fun flying them. 170 is amazing. Feels like a Honda. Totally carefree flights. Don't need VNAV, to be honest. 190 is too fat. I like the 190 wing, man. The 190 wing is just, it's a fat, juicy wing. All right, Magic Barrel ref key. We're 29 or 83. We need to dial the speed back though a little bit. We're approaching OC 507. We got to be at 250k knots. Now remember, we're speed on throttle, right? So speed on throttle. We're a fixed pitch at 3 degrees. I'm going to dial in 250. The thrust levers come back to idle, and it's going to try to get to 250. But if it can't, it's not going to honor the speed. So you might have to help it out, or you might have to help it out by shallowing out your rate of descent. So I'm going to try the speed brake action first here. We'll keep a fixed FPA at 3 degrees with a little bit of speed brake. See if we can get her to come down to 250 knots here. TFDI now stated their product is not VR compatible. At this price tag, much cheaper planes are VR compatible. That's interesting, McAllen. I don't have any, or I don't have a lot of knowledge, hardly any, with the whole VR game. But that's kind of interesting that they would just come out and say it's not compatible. Why would an airplane not be compatible with VR? Is it just the way it displays inside of a headset? I'm not too sure about VR, but I have been seeing X-Plane 72 fly that Crystal Light, Pimax Crystal Light, and he seems to be loving it. So I hope I can get a Florida overnight and go see XP72, maybe take a look at this VR situation. Would you recommend the AnyBuilds 300? Yeah, Turk in the US. I would recommend the INI A300. I think that's that's one of the better hand-flying airplanes we have. Now, I've had issues. The last stream I flew it, we had that WASM crash. So I've just kind of like, I've stepped away from it for a minute. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like a lot of airplanes that we have, especially third party, they're all like in need of updating, but there's really no updates coming out, especially after this last sim update. Maybe everybody's waiting for 24. It just seems like a lot of stuff is on the verge of exploding, kind of like my computer. I need a fresh start. I need a clean install. I don't know. 1,000 to level off. Towers online. Beautiful. MRock Tower 18.6. Thank you, Zippy. RP Gamers, you get the best FPS in the MD-11? Interesting. I get good FPS initially, but I have to do some more testing because we did a long haul. I say long haul, about a 5-hour flight across the Pacific, and man, my frames, not even frames, like my computer just almost completely locked up after flying that airplane for 5-6 hours. So I got to look into that. I'm going to do some more testing. It's very likely that it's my computer, and what I need to do, I'm trying not to do this because I'm supposed to have my new PC by now. I need to do add-on linker because I have way too much stuff in my community folder. I actually heard Captain Canna talking about this, that he's using add-on linker and it helped him loading and everything. So when I launch Microsoft Flight Sim, it literally, no exaggeration, takes 12 to 18 minutes to load, and it's on an SSD. So that's why if the game crashes before I go live, we're often delayed because it just takes that long to reboot the simulator. All right, looking at the arrival, OC 507, 250 at 12. We're at 12 and 250. We're going to transition to Barra, and then so Barra 10, and then actually we go right to the approach because we have the RNAV visual off of Colon. Is Colon in the box? Yeah, Colon is right there, then 802. So we're set up to go to Colon after 507. We'll descend after we pass the 507 fix here. Looking good. Add-on linker works. Can I ask you for add-on linker? Is it a pretty quick setup process? Because from what I understand, I got to move my entire community folder, and that's going to have a lot of stuff in it. But other than that, like you move your community folder, right, and then you're just symbolic linking. I don't have to reinstall everything, do I? It's literally just move something and then set it up for symbolic linking. Because if it's, I might actually do that after this stream. Add-on linker is awesome. Won't necessarily increase FPS, will help immensely with load time. And Greg, that's really what I'm after, because my sim at home has a handful of airplanes in it. That's it, and it loads within 60 seconds. And it's a much less powerful computer than the one I have here. So that was a red flag for me, saying, hey, I got way too much stuff in my community folder, and half the stuff I don't even know what I use anymore. Logo says, if I can do it, you can do it. All right, I'm going to check it out after this stream. No need to reinstall, although I did some serious reorganization when I started it. That's good to know. Yes, and that's why I didn't do it yet, because when I get my new PC, I'm going to be very structured. It's dedicated Microsoft Flight Sim PC, so I'm going to have a folder for sceneries and launchers. I'm going to have a folder, or just it's going to be much more organized than what I got going on now. Oh, the ops center and stuff can be a little fiddly. I'll keep... Okay, Sasquiz. All right. Bombtech says, copy your whole community folder into a new folder and use that one for add-on linker. All right, Bombtech. That sounds like something I can manage. Just move the mods community folder to another folder and pick and choose what I want to run. All right. I'll look into that after this stream, because that would really help. If that can help with loading times, that would be huge. Colon's a mandatory 8,000 feet. Let's dial it in and jump down for cinematic purposes. 8,000 is set. Let's do a different mode. Let's use flight level change. Nope, that's speed Mach. Flight level change. We're now going to be speed on elevator. So with speed on elevator and flight level change mode, we're going to honor the speed, and it's going to vary the pitch of the aircraft, i.e. speed on elevator, to maintain 250 knots at an idle descent. We'll also go direct to colon right now. Or we actually are going direct to colon right now. Oh, see, actually, no, we're not. Something got jacked up here. R95, R37. Hold on. .802. And this is one of the complaints on this aircraft is the transitioning off of a star, how it can get jacked up with the FMS. And we've had this bug a couple times. So there's no sugarcoating that one. You know, right now we've got something going on here with that star transition that's not proper. All right, we're going to redirect it direct to colon. We're L-naving, we're down to 8,000 feet. $1,000 feet to level off. Hey, at least we have, again, shortcomings and things that I like to see. We have a default terrain or some sort of terrain here. I wish we had this in the TFDI MD-11. I wish we had a default weather radar in the TFDI MD-11. You know, right now, visual, this is not a big deal, but you start flying into these crazy airports at night with no terrain mode, it's very sus. All right, there's 8,000 feet. Colon 8,000, max 210 knots. What I'll tell you right now is we recommend at least 180. So I'm going to dial that in right now. We'll start slowing down. Oh, I need to set up for the recording too. 180 on the speed, and we'll flip to FMS speeds here in a minute. 180 on the speed. Tower is going to be 18.6. Let's put them in the standby. Actually, let's put them in the active, because we're going to be talking to them very soon. 18.6 in the active. Speed on throttle. Let's get a little speed brake action out. Let's get the cameras on, and let's get flight recorder on. Let's also juice up the sounds a little bit. All right, recorder is ready and standing by. Let's go ahead and select flaps 1. Oh, look at that. Is it fair to say the default 7.4 has more to offer than the MD-11? I wouldn't say it's fair to say that, Logo Lights. The MD-11 does offer, I mean, the cockpit is pretty much fully functional, and there is definitely more depth of systems in the MD-11. So it's not default 7.4. By any means, but it's so close. It's so close to being awesome, and I have faith in TFDI. You know, people don't have. I have faith in both FSS and TFDI. Some people just have faith in TFDI. I've got faith in both of them. I do think that MD-11 is going to be real special. At least I'm really hoping. All right, after colon 8,000, we should have done this. 6,300, 7,000 mandatory. 7 is set. Flight level change, please. Flight level change down to 7. We're 180. And we're actually going to keep dialing the speed back to about 160 now. 1,000 to level off. Check. I'm going to start the recording now. Recording is on. Recording is on. After 805, 800, let's see. So mandatory 6,300 before we start the turn. And I'm going to hand fly that turn around at 6,300 mandatory. 802 is a 7,000 mandatory, so we'll keep coming down. Do you stream deck? No, I don't. Are you running G's? I am not. Let's launch G's. Thank you. Now this airplane is very tricky to get smooth. Not tricky, there's a technique, and I have been struggling without practice. Alright, G's is up and running. Do a G's check. Yep, G's check is up and running now. Alright, we need to set 6,000 flight level change. Let's go gear down. Tower, good afternoon. Avianca 357. We're on the RNAV visual for runway. What's that? 20. Shoot. No, it's not. RNAV 25. This doesn't look right. Airport's way too close. Wait a second. Oh, Center wants me to talk to him? 3555? Center, good afternoon. Avianca 357. We're on the RNAV visual 25. Autopilot's come off.
Autopilot.
Why can't I hear him? 35.50. Oh, come on, man. This is the worst possible time to log on. Center, good afternoon. Avianca 357. We're on the RNAV 25.
Avianca 357, hello, radar contact, passing 6,000 feet, clear RNAV approach. Runway 25, clear to land. Actually, contact tower, sorry about that, contact tower 118.6.
Over tower 18.6 for Avianca 357 tick. This is not cool. Oh, we'll turn the flight director off. Why does that always gotta jack us up there at the end? Alright. Auto thrust is off. Auto throttle's off. We're descending. Let's get our flaps in there. Let's keep coming down. We're a little high. Tower, good afternoon. Avianca 357, the RNAV 25. (118.6). Oh my word. No, that's it. 118.6 is on. We're on the visual. Out of them. This is a visual approach. It's RNAV visual. What's and Tower, good afternoon, Avianca 357. We're on the RNAV visual 25. (118.6). Still not getting any response. Auto brake low.
1,000.
1,000 feet, we're stable. We're not clear to land. Costa Rica Tower, Avianca 357. How do you read? 118.6. What's the procedure? Do I have to go around? Lauren, do I have to go around? It actually worked out pretty nice. I guess I'll just disconnect. All right.
500.
This is Costa Rica Terry Clearland, right? I disconnected from VATSIM. I was on the right freak, 18.6. Push to talk is working. Alright. Let's finish her out there. Our juice view got all distracted trying to deal with those frequencies. Let's see if we could not smash it here.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh. What? Manual brakes. I missed that turn. Let's roll it out. Oh, man, we were way higher than I thought there when I was holding that off. Early flare. I thought we were going to butter that one, but we're sitting way lower than I thought. Iveo Premium for the win. That's all right. I think G's is broken. I think G's is broken. Because how can he 1.02? Too used to the MD-11? Dude, the MD-11 is ridiculously hard for me. Alright, let's clear off here. We'll have to assess the replay. Duke and Chill to SVCS. Here's a free ticket for the scenery. Thanks for all the entertainment. Hey, logo lights. Appreciate a 12 euro donation, man. Very kind. This turn off here is kind of jacked up. We got lights everywhere, so we'll just kind of ignore that. We shall clean it up. Logo lights. I'll have to check it out, my friend. Thank you so much for the support. I'll take a look into that scenery. SVCS. I'm not even sure where that is. Where's that at? The approach looked like a Cessna compared to the birds we've been flying. Well, I will say I thought initially we were going to smash. And then I thought I saved it. But then we kept coming down after I had set that flare. And I was like, we were way higher than I thought, even when I was holding it off there. So we'll have to look at the replay to assess. The auto brakes on? No, auto brakes are off. We're good. We're just taxiing uphill here. I feel like we're dragging a brake. Is that the TCA Airbus throttles? It's a viable option, Ethan, for sure, man. I do think there's some better options on the market now, especially now with the latest Expo. I mean, there's been some pretty cool hardware companies come out with some pretty advanced looking throttle sets. The only problem with the TCA throttle for me, for the Airbus, is it's just such a small range of travel. Now, did we blow a tire? I feel like we blew a tire. Can you blow a tire in this? I feel like we're taxiing with a blown tire. I know, I'm leaving the lights on for the replay view, Gustavo. We're going straight to replay. Ethan Jolly, I think the best throttle that you can get for modularity is the Honeycomb Bravo. Now, they're kind of hard to find now. I don't think they're making them anymore, right? But the Bravo is very modular in what it can do. Does my tail look still down? This camera makes my hand look like the PMDG EFB hand. Just a ghost hand. Blown tire would be a failure, not modeled. Dang, shots fired. Love that wing flex out there, though. Must be either going uphill. My brakes, make sure. Yeah, my brakes are fine. I guess we are taxiing uphill. Yeah, 40% to come up this. That is a little off. When are we doing a Texas barbecue run? I don't know, Pilot Mateo. I feel like I blew a tire, but I don't think that that's simulated. But this is 100% what a blown tire feels like. Howdy, Captain. Just joined the stream. Glad to see the E-Jet action. Hey, man. We're wrapping it up, but we'll see it here on replay. I almost want to try to land that again. Landing this airplane is so unique for me. Like, it's... You really got to know when to flare on this airplane, and I obviously don't. But remember when we flew it for a week straight? After, like, the 5th one, well, I finally got it. Can anyone beat 7 blown tires in the PMDG triple? Nah, that's a record, Romulus. Yeah, the FMS is going nuts now, you can see, because we're like going backwards on the flight plan. Matter of fact, you should probably nav off. I don't know how to turn nav off. Heading, maybe? There you go. Clear the FMA. But yeah, it's tripping out right there. We're not going to see all the other airplanes land, unfortunately. It's in the Zobo mode. Yeah, it's in a Zobo mode. The FMS is in a Zobo mode right now. Alright, let's take gate 18. I know the strobes are on Gustavo. I don't want to click all the lights again for replay mode. Good job. I wasn't planning a turnaround. Maintenance plays 2 and refused to replace anymore. Maybe you had to wait for another aircraft to come in and bring some more tires in. Where did that happen at, Romulus? We'll have to fly a cargo flight in there with the 727, bring you some tires. I really feel like we blew a tire. Ooh. Ooh, that was almost perfect. Almost perfect, Erp. Alright, brakes are set. We're not on VATSIM. Oh, I was recording the whole way? Jeez. Alright, let's go back. Let's actually... I'll tell you what, I'm going to pause it. Let's go to, like, right here. Let's watch this one, this replay situation, because we were... When the center came on, right in the turn, and then I got distracted. I thought that airport was the one we were going to, and I'm like, wait, we're way too high for that airport. But you can see here that this RDAV visual actually takes you out way further than the old school Cirrus visual, the circle. I don't even know if they do that anymore. So let's watch this replay here. This would be much more juicy. But yeah, we got super distracted there on final. Trying to figure out frequencies. There goes the full flaps coming out. Here comes our final turn. Should have done the Cirrus visual. It would be real tight. And I think you can cross radial reference the Cirrus. Man, I need a... My yoke is going nuts again on replay mode here. Team Vodka, though, that profile worked perfectly for the yoke. You got to try it, man. You got to try that yoke profile for the Brunner. Look at that, though. Spooled up on final. Full flaps. Looks so good. Sounds good, too. Do you have a tutu? What's a tutu for your cam setup? Oh, a tutorial? No. No, I don't have a tutorial for my cam setup. I just, trial and error, man. Trial and error. Second leg? Gosh, I would love to do a second leg in this, actually. I'd rather do a second leg in the MD-11, though, for comparison, and fly it like to... We might do, let's see, it's 2 o'clock? We might do a second stream. We're not going to do a second leg. We might do a second stream, though. I got to see what we'll fly. You take a Toga to Panama City. A Duke leg. Yeah, long time no ERP. What's up with that? Just out of sorts, man. Turn to San Salvador? We'll see. We could. Probably have to reset this bird anyway. At least it wasn't a request for you on cam in a tutu. No, Romulus, we don't want to see that. No, we don't want to see that. Ah, it sounds so good. This is Toga in effect. True, it is. Whisperjet. Man, I wish I had a 7.2 Whisperjet. I wish. As much grief as I get for flying the E-jets, I feel like FSS should, you know, be gracious. Be like, hey, welcome to our 727 beta team. Since you take flak all day long. Alright, here we go. Let's see how this landing worked out. 9 p.m. whiskey time. Ooh, I like it, McAllen. Parrot idle held it. We were just way higher than I thought. Oh, that animation looks pretty good, though. Let's get rid of the... I can't wait for native frame gen where that stuff doesn't happen. That wing flex is spot on, though. Hold on, let's go back. Let's see what that looked like outside. Ah, Piedmonter, I know. I really wish the passenger version was first. Or at least I wish they were side by side developed. That would be cool. Is there any, like... Have you thought about, like, any PVA cargo ops? Is that a thing? I don't know. That would be awesome, though, if it was passenger first. Ooh! I mean... It definitely wasn't like an 80 foot per minute. Or let's see again. Let's watch that again. I appreciate that, Bomb Tech. Alright, let's watch this with no frame gen. Let's see how this touchdown was here. Oh yeah, see, early flare. And then I thought I saved it. But I did not realize we were that high up. Yeah, then we came down. I don't know. I mean, you really think that's a 300? It's definitely not a super butter, that's for sure. But that's just an Airbus flare getting the best of me again. Impossible to get good quality cargo timetables. Ah, yeah, I can see that would be a problem. See, I thought I was going to grease it, but we're still 20 feet above the ground. I don't know, really? G said that one was a 270 in replay. I don't know. Yeah, native frame gen for this 40 series cars, which is what I have on my... I have a 40 series. I have a 4060 or 70 on my other PC at the house. It's like an office PC. And when I run Flight Sim, I have zero artifacting with native frame gen on. It sounded worse than it was, for sure. Alright, I'm going to leave you guys with the long replay here. You can enjoy the approach, the circle into Costa Rica. I don't think we're done. I think we might fire up a second stream here, because the day is early and it's too hot to do anything, and I just have to determine what airplane we're going to fly. It's either going to be MD-11, or it might be this bird, or it might be some piston. I have to see what I can set up here. But I want to thank you all for hanging out and being civil today. Hey, look, remember at the beginning of the stream, we all have opinions. As long as we respect each other's opinions and we can be civil debate, it makes for a much more interesting life than if everybody just agreed to one thing. So I appreciate y'all. Good discussion. I like the E-jets. I think they're fun to fly. They're challenging to land for me for some reason, to land smooth anyway. And the sounds and textures and model is just, it's so much, I love it. I love it a lot. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for the support. I'll catch you on the next one if there's a second stream. If not, I'll see you after I get back from flying the line tomorrow. All right, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1, Eagle 1, out. See you.